Okay, in last class I have shown how to install Visual Studio 2019, and also apart from that you need to install Git also. Okay, how to install Git, let us show that. Okay, let us see that. Because Visual Studio 2019 internally uses Git for maintaining version control system. So that is why we have to install Git also. So yesterday we have installed our Visual Studio 2019 on this virtual machine, my VM. And take public IP address of this VM. And in the run section, add the IP address 222, right? Okay. This is to connect to your remote server. So here we will be asking username and password. You have to type username and password. I think this machine is not started. Start it. So password is I think yesterday it was done. And go to PowerShell admin mode, PowerShell. Execute a small command, a simple command called chaco install git -y. This must be done after installation of Visual Studio 2019. Okay, now it is done. Check the version of Git. Refresh environment. Now execute this command, git version. Even if it is not working, close it once and launch it again. Okay. Now go to PowerShell. Now say git ---- version. Git is installed. Okay, it is showing that Git is installed. And just come out from this. Now my installation is still going on. It is done up to 89%. Meanwhile, we will discuss some fundamental aspects of so today we are going to speak about this much small size. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about Azure repos. So as we have discussed in the very beginning class, so Azure repos is a place where exactly we can store the code. Okay, so Azure repos is the best examples of version control system. Okay, in the very beginning class of our Azure DevOps, so we have discussed the DevOps lifecycle flow, right? First, developer writes the code, then he is going to submit the code into version control system. Then from there, it will go into build environment. From there, it will go into test environment. Okay, like that. Okay, so from one environment to another environment, code will be shifted. And initially, code is stored into Azure repos. So here, what is the best part of version control systems? VCA stands for version control systems, or we can also say source code management. So what is the need of having source code management or version control system? Or we can also say code repository. So in the reality, what happens? Multiple developers will be working for a single project. Okay. So where exactly code must be stored? You cannot, every developer cannot keep the code into his local machine, right? So at the end of the day, he is going to submit code into some area called version control system. So before version control system, what happened in the industry? So the people have to use shared folders. People have to use shared for people used to use shared folders. A shared folder will have the code submitted by various developers. So what are the limitations of shared folder? So they will provide read access, okay, for multiple developers simultaneously, but it is not able to provide write access, okay, by multiple developers. So when multiple developers are modifying the code, okay, the system was not supporting. That is the drawback of state folders. To overcome the problem in the next generation, what happens? So people have started using, okay, something like version control systems. So your version control systems are two types. Okay. So what are the two types? One is centralized version control systems. Second category is distributed version control systems. Distributed version control systems. Okay. So then what is the difference between distributed version control systems and centralized version control system? So to understand this, okay, just minimize this one, open notepad. I have done it in a remote server, right? Control X. Where is it? Paste it over here. Okay. So to understand this in a beautiful manner, okay. So let us take one example. So we know that every project will have multiple developers and each and every developer will be developing some module. Okay, we know that. Okay, so if you think of a e-commerce application, one person might be developing banking module, another person might be developing login module, another person might be developing authentication, another person might be developing orders, another person might be developing shipping and orders module. Like that, every module of the application is developed by some developer. Okay, so just imagine your 4 developers are working for a project. So he is a developer. It is a developer system from India, and it is a developer system from USA, and it is a developer system from Canada, and it is a developer system from UK. Now, this is a centralized or remote server where exactly every developer is going to submit code. Okay, this is a remote server. So to manage the server, okay, a employee is there. Okay, a administrator, server of administrator will be appointed. The job of the server administrator is, okay, to take backup of the code at regular intervals. Okay, so this is remote server. Or specifically, this is also called as centralized server. Okay, so to manage this server, the administrator is required. The job of administrator is to take backup at a regular interval, means once in a day, okay, once for every fortnight, once for every week, okay, once for every 12 hours. Okay, so that is the job of this centralized server administrator. Just imagine on one day he has forgotten to take backup, or something else, the server is completely crashed. Then what happens here? Whatever work is submitted by every developer is lost, right? This is centralized version control system setup. So when the server is crashed due to some issue, okay, hardware issue, okay, due to some manual misbehavior, so the server can be failed. Okay, so when the server is failed, what happens here? Whatever code is stored in the server will be completely collapsed. Okay, so this is the biggest drawback of centralized version control system, because we have only one copy of code for every developer. There are no multiple copies. So to overcome this problem, people have started using distributed version control systems. So in distributed version control system, what happens here? Almost the arrangement is similar. Okay, so they will also have one remote server. One remote server. Apart from this remote server, okay, so every developer will also have his own repository like this. His own repository, his local repository. Every developer will have local repository and then one remote server. First, they are going to submit code into local repository. From local repository, code is submitted to remote server like this. From here, code will come to this. Here also. First code will go to local repository. From local repository, code is submitted to centralized server. Okay, a remote server. This is local repo of this developer. Okay, so you can assume this developer is from India. And here this developer may be from USA. And this developer is from Canada. And this developer is from UK. Okay. Now, this is distributed version control system. So every developer first is going to push code into local repository. From local repository, okay, he is going to submit code into version control system. This is local repo. Now what happens here? Even my server is crashed, remote server is crashed. What happens here? Anyhow, every developer is having one local copy, right? There is a security for the copy. So because there are 2 copies of code are available. Okay. So in that way, in distributed version control system, we can have 2 copies of the code. Okay. So here what are the popular distributed version control systems? So the popular distributed version control systems are Git, Bitbucket, and Azure repos. So these are the popular distributed version control systems. So internally our Azure repos will use Git repository. Okay, so let me save this document 11th August. What is that? Who can see your messages? Recording on. Who has given this one? Okay. Now, this is how distributed version control system functions. Now, here before we start Azure repos, so here we have to learn something also. So the moment you install Git and the moment you create a project, what happens? New. Okay, let me open new documents. So the moment you create a project, the moment you write code and the moment you initialize a local repository, actually 3 areas are created here. Okay. So what are the 3 areas that are created? One is, this is anyhow, this is remote repository. This is remote repository. And this is your working tree. Working tree. Okay. So working tree is nothing but it is a place where exactly developers will write the code. What is it? It is local repository. Okay. So combinedly, this is called as our local laptop. And first we have to move the code from working tree, from Visual Studio Code to local repository. From local repository, we are going to move code to remote repository. So in our case, the remote repository is Azure DevOps portal. Azure DevOps, okay, portal. Okay. So Azure DevOps portal is going to contain something like, okay, Azure repos. That means we have to make a connection. We have to make a secure connection between our local repository to remote repository, right? Okay. Now it is the installation part is completed. Now what I will do, I will close this window and I will start Visual Studio 2019. Guys, is it clear the difference between version control systems like centralized version control system, distributed version control system? So if you have any questions, you can ask me without any hesitation. Is the idea of distributed version control system and centralized version control system clear, right? Okay. Now this is my Visual Studio 2019 environment. Okay, so just click on create new project. And whatever templates we have installed so far will appear over here. Okay, here I want to create one ASP.NET web application. Okay, so choosing of a particular project completely that depends on your developer. Okay, so we are not going to decide. Okay, so since here everything we have to select the project type also. In the reality, so this project type code is written by developer. Our responsibility as a DevOps engineer is okay to push the code to take the code from Visual Studio. Okay, some repository. That is our responsibility. Okay, so just for now, I am selecting a project template called ASP.NET web application. Click on next. So here I am giving a name called sample application. So click on create. Select MVC. And we are creating 2 projects here. One is ASP.NET, that is HTTPS. Another one is unit tests. So unit test is a part of your project. Click on create. Now this is your Visual Studio home page. Here we are going to see two sections here. One is Solution Explorer, other one is Git Changes. Okay, so before you are going to proceed, you have to do one more activity also. So what is the other activity you have to do? Let me show this. Go to Tools, Options, and go to something like Preview page. Just a minute. Where the option is available. General environment. Preview features. Select preview features and just come down. Where is that? Are you seeing this option? Just disable this. New Git user experience. Now here, go to View, and you have to display something like a Team Explorer also. Okay, here we have three panes. One is a Solution Explorer, Git Changes, Team Explorer. Okay, Solution Explorer is going to show complete your project structure. Okay, so where exactly your project structure is stored, where exactly your project is stored. So if you want to know where exactly project is stored, just select your application, sample application. Okay, this is a solution file. Solution is nothing but okay, so it is just like a container for applications. This is just like a folder. And if you want to know the location of this folder, okay, just right click on this. Are you seeing something like open in a folder in File Explorer? Here, this is the location. My user, source, repos, sample application. Here we have created two projects, right? One is a sample application, another one is sample application dot tests. Okay, so if you open the sample application, we are going to have many things like app data. We need not to worry about this. Okay, so actually this structure is developed internally. Okay, this structure is given by your developers. As a DevOps engineer, our responsibility is different. Okay, now we have created a project called sample application. Now, just to minimize it, open your Azure DevOps portal. So to open Azure DevOps portal, say dev.azure.com. This is a place from where directly you can get into your Azure DevOps portal. Sign into Azure DevOps. Now I have one organization. Now as a first thing, you have to create organization. Organization is nothing but it is going to keep your projects. Organization is a place where exactly we are going to place our projects. So before you are going to push project from your Visual Studio 2019, okay, we have to have one organization. Already I have one organization, my own project testing 1, 2, 3. Apart from this, I am going to create one more organization. Click on new organization. Okay, so continue. It is asking what is your organization name. I am giving organization name as Azure DevOps 5 PM IST. Where you want to place this organization? In Central USA. X D J Q B. You can continue. So as a part of organization, you have to create one project also. That is very basic level project. It is asking what is your default project name. My default project name is my ASP.NET 5 PM IST. So next we have to specify visibility type. Visibility type can be either public or private. If it is public, anyone on the internet will be able to view your code. Private means only you and your team members will be able to access the code. That is the difference between public and private. I am selecting private project. Click on create project. Okay, my project is created. My organization is ready. Just a minute. I will remove all these projects. Why this project? Project settings. Just to come down. Delete it. I will also remove this one. Okay. Delete this. Okay, so presently we have two organizations. One is Azure DevOps 5 PM IST. Another one is my own project testing. Okay, my own project testing. Here I am creating a project called my projects. Visibility type is private. Click on create project. Now my Azure DevOps portal is ready. And once again go to your Visual Studio. You have to connect this Visual Studio to your Azure DevOps portal. For that, are you seeing here this link option? Just this human symbol. Just click on this human symbol. Okay, this one, sign in. Are you seeing sign in? Just click on this sign in. It is going to ask you email. Okay, so my Azure DevOps email account is click on next. We could not find any account. Okay, given a spelling mistake. Click on sign in. Now we have connected to this account. On the top, you must see this option, Shiva Kumar Kumaravelli 123. This is Azure DevOps portal login name. And on the bottom, are you seeing something like add to source control? Just click on this add to source control. When I select add to source control, what happens here? The code will be moving. to my local repository. I told you, right? So initially your code is created. Code will be available in working tree. Okay, here my code is available now. So from here, we are moving my code to local repository here. My code will be moved to here. Okay, so when I select this option, so on the bottom I are seeing add to source control, select Git. Immediately it is going to ask to which place, to which remote repository you wanted to add this code. Okay, whether you want to add this code to GitHub or Azure DevOps portal. Okay, this is my Azure DevOps portal. Click on publish Git repository. Okay, now it is asking the organization name. So the organization name I am giving a previously created organization name, my own project testing 123. Repository name will be same as your project name. Click on publish repository. Select this account once again. Are you seeing? Sample application was pushed. Okay, so our application means sample application, right? Now we have to test whether it is available in the now you seeing sample application is available here. Sample application, and if you want to see the code, click on repos and choose files. Are you seeing sample application and sample application dot tests here? This one. Okay, now so we have discussed about the centralized version control systems and distributed version control systems, and we have created one project, and we have moved the project from Visual Studio to Azure DevOps portal. Okay, we have created an organization and we have created a project. Okay, so with the same name of Visual Studio 2019, okay, a project was created in Azure DevOps portal. Now go to Solution Explorer. So suppose I want to do some modification. Okay, we have so many things here: app data, app start. We don't know all this. Even I don't know, because only developers will be knowing all these structure. So go to controllers and open this home controller.vb. Here, this is a code. Okay, suppose I am changing some code here. Okay, so what kind of modification I can do here? I am changing the code in action result method. This is action result method. Okay, so just add something. Added some functionality. Okay, save this change and click on Team Explorer. Click on changes. And I want to commit this code. I want to commit this what it is saying? Configure your username and email. Already we have configured, right? This is my email. Save it. Okay. Now I am giving something like added some code. Why it is not reflecting? You have to save it. Do one thing, add one more line. Added another line. And save it. And in the changes, added again. Why it is not reflecting? Another line. Actually, it must highlight. Just a minute. Why it is not highlighting? Added another line. Where is check action blade? We are in master branch. It is team explorer.
Okay.
So git changes.
Beside, yeah, commit beside the commit. Trash actions.
No. It is not required. This is for viewing your file history. Okay, let me add one more time. Sometimes added. Okay, save it. Now it is highlighting. See, added a line. Sometimes it may happen. Okay, click on commit all and select commit all. When I say commit all only, the changes will be saved in local repository. So when you want to commit to local repository and remote repository, click on commit all and push. Now successfully pushed to origin by master. Now let us see whether these changes are available in my remote repository. Okay, this is my project, right? So here controllers folder, here home controller.vb. Are you seeing this line? Added again. Now here I will add something. Okay, click. If you want to add something here, click on edit. Added in Azure portal. Now commit it. Click on commit. Now I want to bring this change to my Visual Studio editor. Okay, so for that, are you seeing some option called pull or synchronize? Click on synchronize or pull. Are you seeing Azure added in Azure portal? Successfully synchronized incoming and outgoing commits. Both are successfully synchronized. Now, this is a pulling and pushing process from Azure DevOps repository to Visual Studio, and Visual Studio to Azure DevOps repository, Azure DevOps portal. Now, the moment you create a new project, what happens here? A default branch called master is created. Are you seeing master here? A master branch is created. Now, in every organization, multiple developers will be working for different modules. Suppose a e-commerce application is there. So e-commerce application generally will have many modules. So each developer will be working on a different module, and each developer must be able to work independently of other developers. And each developer will be releasing versions. Okay, from every branch, every developer must be able to work on different versions and different modules. So for that, we are going to create something called branches. Okay, so one reason why we are going to create branch is to take backup. Okay, suppose in the master branch I have some code. Okay, if you want to take backup of master branch, you can create a new branch. That is one reason. And when multiple developers wanted to work on different features, okay, different features, and they wanted to release versions simultaneously, okay, so we have to create branches. But before we are going to create branches, so let us discuss what are the branching strategies, how to create branches. So what are the naming conventions of the branches? So for that, we have an article here. We are going to look at the article. Git branching strategy. It is not the article I am looking for. Oh, just to come down. Maybe this one. What is the best Git branching strategy? Okay. Yeah, this is one. So I'm going to give the link of this one. Git branching strategies. Okay, this is the link. Refer here. Refer this documentation docs. Now, if you look at this branching strategy diagram, okay, just look at this. So the first one, because this is generally called as master branch. So if you scroll down, master branch. Okay, so master branch is very highly privileged branch. No one will be able to touch a master branch except project managers. Except project managers, nobody will be able to access master branch, because this is really highly secured branch and highly, okay, working code. Okay, so the working code is available in master branch. From master branch, generally, we are going to create a development branch. Are you seeing develop branch directly? From master branch, we can create a branch called development branch or developer branches. From developer branches, are you seeing feature branches are created here? Feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, feature 4, feature 5, like that. And in the feature branches, okay, every developer is going to write the code. Finally, they are going to submit code into development branch. Are you seeing here? The code that is written in feature branches will be merged with development branch. So finally, from development branch, the code is submitted to release branches. Are you seeing release branch here? So release branch will always have final code. Okay, so which is ready to deploy into various environments like dev, prod, QA environments. Okay, that means from master branch we create development. From development we are going to create feature 1, feature 2. Okay, feature 1, feature 2 are like orders. Okay, these are the features, right? Individual modules are called as features. Okay, like payment, orders, shipping, delivery, authentication, login module. These are the features. So once the code is finalized in feature branch, that will be merged. That will be stored into development branch. From development branch, the code is submitted to this one, release branch. Now, in master branch or otherwise in release branch, what happens here? Suppose something went wrong, a minor issue is occurred. Okay, a very minor issue, very small issue is occurred in the coding. So temporarily, they will create a hotfix branch here. They will create a hotfix branch. So in the hotfix branch, the people is going to set the error. Finally, again, that is submitted to master branch. Guys, is it clear? The flow is clear because this is very important. So we have so many branching strategies. This is one of the important strategies. So every organization might be using some different branching strategy, but this is one which is used mostly in every organization. Now, just for namesake, what I will do, I will go to my VM, Visual Studio, in the VM. Okay, so I want to create a new branch. So to create a new branch, so go to this Team Explorer or Git changes. Okay, in Team Explorer. In Team Explorer, go to this Home option. Are you seeing branches here? From here you can create a new branch. Otherwise, from master here also you can create a new branch. Okay, from anywhere you can create a new branch. I'm clicking on new branch. Okay, it is asking from which branch you wanted to create. From master branch, I want to create a new branch. Okay, so what is the branch I want to create? It is something like feature 1. And once this branch is created, automatically I want to go into the branch. So then check out to branch. So create branch, click on create branch. Are you seeing the we are shifted to feature 1 branch? A new branch called feature 1 is created. Okay, so in the feature 1 branch, automatically my code is copied. My code from master branch is copied. And if you want to click on branches, click on branches. Are you seeing 2 branches are available here? This is my local repository. Local in the local system, I have 2 branches. One is feature 1, other one is master branch. Okay, now go to Team Explorer and click on. Okay, let's wait. Sync. Are you seeing sync option? Presently, we don't have feature 1 branch in Azure DevOps portal. We don't have. We have only 1 branch. Here we have only 1 branch, master branch. Here. There is no feature 1 branch. I want to move this branch to my Azure DevOps portal. Just click on sync. Click on push. Successfully pushed feature 1 to origin. Okay. Now if you go to home and click on branches, in the this remotes by origin means this is my Azure DevOps portal. Are you seeing feature 1 is also there here? Feature 1 master branch. Now, if you want to go to this one, Azure DevOps, there also you can see this branch. Just refresh it. So when you refresh it, the new branch will be seen here. Can be seen. Are you seeing feature 1? Okay, this is the way how you can create new branches. Okay, in Azure DevOps. So, guys, is there any doubts? If no doubts are there, I will stop it for today. Just watch the video and complete all the setup. I hope you have completed your lab setup. Okay, create one project, create one organization, move the project from Azure Visual Studio to Azure DevOps portal, make some changes in both places and synchronize them and create one branch. So tomorrow we meet again at the same time. Okay, thank you. Just watch the video. If you have any questions, any doubts in the next class, you can ask me.
Sir, I have some questions.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have joined a bit late. So regarding the contents of the course, what can be the expectation actually?
Regarding, can you come
regarding the content of the course, AZURE DevOps, right?
Yeah.
What can we expect like from the course?
Yeah, regarding course content, you can collect it from front office DURGASOFT team. You can contact Bhavani. Bhavani is there in the front office. Okay, so she will give you course content. She will tell everything like how much course fees, what is the duration. Okay, here we are providing actually 2 courses. At one course fees cost, one is Azure DevOps, other one is Docker and Kubernetes. For Docker and Kubernetes, you have to attend morning classes.
Okay.
Morning at 6:15. Okay. So Azure DevOps is 4 weeks duration, and Docker and Kubernetes is also 4 weeks. 4 plus 4, 8 weeks duration it is. Monday to Friday, we have classes. Okay.
Parallelly, it would be starting morning Docker and Kubernetes and evening Azure DevOps.
Azure, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. If you want
in 1 month, it would be sorted out, sir. In 1 month, 4 things will be sorted out. Okay.
Yeah, within 1 month it will be completed. But if you want to complete in a 1 by 1 fashion, so you have to spend 2 months, 4 weeks for Docker and Kubernetes and 4 weeks for Azure DevOps. If you want to attend it simultaneously, okay, it can be completed within 1 month.
Okay.
Okay, do you have a Bhavani number? Shall I provide Bhavani number?
Yeah, please provide it in the chat, sir. And one more thing, sir, like in Azure DevOps, can we be able to build the infra of like few services of Azure like ACR and like that? Can we build through infra Terraform? That would be covering here.
No. In the place of Terraform, we are going to cover the ARM templates. ARM templates is exactly equivalent of Terraform.
Okay. So ARM templates, we cover all the services through ARM templates or few?
Only few services will cover. What are the services that are required for us? That services we are going to cover.
Okay.
And for infrastructure provision, we also learning Docker and Kubernetes, right? It is most important concept of DevOps.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you can contact Bhavani on this number. So here her number is, just a minute, 88 9 77 11 799. This is Bhavani number. She will provide complete information. Even she will provide links of previous classes.
Yeah, I got the number.
Okay, even they will not provide. So there is a link here. You can just directly you can go to youtube.com. Directly you can search for previous session recordings. Azure DevOps by Shiva. Here, these are all my recordings.
Okay. Okay. For this batch, how many classes were completed?
Just 3 sessions are over. Just theoretical part. Yesterday, I have set up lab. Okay, just to go through these recordings, nothing will happen. First 2 classes are completely theory. Okay?
Okay.
What is Azure DevOps? What is the difference between DevOps and Azure DevOps? In the second class, I have told some fundamental aspects of Azure Cloud. In the third class, that is yesterday, we have created lab environments.
Yeah. Okay.
Just today, we have started actual lab part, practical part.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, my recordings are available here.
Sure, I'll go through the record.
This is 9/8/2022. 9, 10, 11, 12. This is Azure DevOps 2, I think. So you can have a link of this one also. Control C. So I will paste the link in chart window. You can take that. Have you got it?
Yeah, I got it, sir. I'll copy them.
Okay. So I am stopping today. Tomorrow we meet again at the same time, 5 o'clock.